Trying to make sure that everything's up and up. Keep pressing the wrong button. Okay. Bam. Sorry. I'm still finding it hard to come to terms with all that's happened. Now that you're here, though, I'm hoping things might change for the better. You know, I've worked up quite a sweat from all that running about, so I'll leave space around the fire for the others. As you can tell, they're in a far worse state than me. We were planning to look for somewhere warmer or with more food, but they're not going anywhere until we nurse them back to health, which I don't know how to do. Is there anything you can do to help them? Scholar at your service. Wow. Okay. That's a pretty impressive bower. Oh, that was the music? Okay, sure. All's well. All's well. With food in my belly and a song in my heart. I can feel my fingers again. What they need most is a decent meal. We've food back at the camp, but there's the distance to consider. It's alright. I'll knock everything out of the way. I can treat their frostbite and their wounds, but it will take time for the fire to do its work. Now would be a good occasion to make use of a Manelian's tinctures. The ones that can warm the body from the inside out. Would you make sure everyone gets one? The numbness is beginning to subside, though I suspect once the fire dies, it will return with a vengeance. A warming tincture? I've never heard of such a thing. No harm in trying. But tell me, have you heard aught of the city? Though calling it that seems absurd after what's happened. It's nothing but ruins now. The few buildings still standing offer no more than meager protection from wind and snow. Food production, water purification, the magitech that sustained us has come to a grinding halt. What machina that remains operational cannot be run for lack of ceruleum. Of course, Cerelia, Ingens, is full of the stuff, for all the good it does us. No one here knows the first thing about extraction or refinement. And therein lies the point, right? Modern society requires people to run it. The second that goes away, it comes crashing down. All is well. Yes, never better. Oh, what sweet libation is this? Is it poison by any chance? Ah, 'twas a joke, ha ha. If I laugh, 'tis that I may not weep. So said the poet. And alas, my tears would freeze on my cheek ere they fall. We are the blessed damned, to bear witness to the fall of the great empire, while our brethren lie dead, or live on as puppets of flesh. First came the war, then came the roar. When morning came, Garlemald was no more. In a cacophony of gunfire, explosions and screams was our beloved capital razed to the ground. From the rubble rose the disheveled remnants, their lavish finery caked in ash as they shuffled mindlessly towards the palace, each bearing a fragment of stone or metal, an offering perhaps to the architect of our destruction. A hopeful few tried to reason with the deranged, only to be beaten for their kindness. But I knew better than to plead with the horde. I fled with my health, if not my conscience preserved. Now I wait with my fellow cowards for our final judgment. Jesus, kid. Calm down. You'll get through this. What do you want? To give you aid. A tincture? May as well drink it, I suppose. This? It's a radio. We don't have memory come from, I take it? We use them to listen to messages sent by others, even over great distances. There are different types, but this model is by far the most popular. Made with quality components crafted with the finest ore, sourced from Locus Amonis, that is. Not all that useful since the capital fell into ruin. The people at the broadcasting station must have either fled or ended up like all the others, because all we've been hearing is the same music being played over and over again. Home beyond the horizon, an ode to the brave men and women sent to reclaim our ancestral homeland of Locus Amoenus. Amoenus? We may have founded an empire in these frozen wastes, but we always hope to take back what was once ours. This is a solemn reminder that though we must suffer great hardship, better days will surely come. Despite everything, I believe that Emperor Varus yet lives, and that he speaks to us through our radios. It was a cunning strategy, faking his murder. He must have foreseen this catastrophe and chosen to conceal himself, that he may one day make his triumphant return. Yes, I'm sure of it. Emperor Varus would not be defeated so easily. Weren't we there as part of the story? Like, no, he was pretty murdered. I think that's almost exactly the final scene of Shadowbringers. What's that? For you, milady. So this is what you gave the others. Thank you, I'll save it for later. Actually, I have a few things to ask you. Are you part of the group staying in Latera? I saw Legatus Vergilia's troops heading towards the Magna Glaciers a few days ago. Are they the ones you encountered? Camp Broken Glass, you call it. And Virgilia and her men are all there now. So how did you reach the Magna Glaciers? Did you cross the mountains on foot? Really? Just telling her military secrets? Airships. And there might be a way to... Licinia, where is everyone? Is something the matter? A voice from inside, you say? You must be imagining things. Everyone's out here. Perhaps a baby Almatsi has found its way into the house. It wouldn't be the first time. Without the soldiers to scare them off, wild animals have been roaming closer to the settlements. Some have been known to attack people, too. I've just had an idea. If you and yours are strong enough to defeat a Legatus, then surely a few beasts shouldn't pose a threat. If you've a mind to continue helping us, perhaps you could head to the other side of the lake. There's a small group of trappers living there, people whose job was to extract ceruleum. They still do, from what we can tell. I've already tried asking if they would share their fuel with us, but they're not willing to give it away. They want food in exchange. Lots of food. And that's something we don't have and can't get on our own. On top of that, to even reach their den, we'd have to make our way past all of those creatures. Would you be willing to go in our place? We only need enough ceruleum to last until the others are strong enough to travel to your camp. If the offer still stands, that is. Oh, and I don't expect you to give up your own supplies, but there might be another way to pay the trappers. If it's ceruleum you need, then ceruleum you shall have. You best watch out for baby Almastis while you're away. Huh? Oh, yes, of course. If I see any, I'll be sure to shoo them away. To reach Tapper's Den, you'll have to cross the lake. The ice is thick enough to support a person's weight, but if you'd rather not take the risk, you'll need to take the long way around. Finding the entrance can be a bit tricky too, so it's easier to just look for someone standing guard outside. However, if you decide to head there, please be careful. Well, I don't relish the thought of tank DPSing my way through all this. But my rogue is probably too weak. It'd be so much more convenient if I could fly. I wonder if I'll be able to actually handle the combat. I mean, I am fairly geared, so... But let's avoid combat until it's necessary. I like how she's like, hey, can you just rob these people? Wow, you're gonna not give food or energy to children? Bastards. You know what? Wow, you actually stand taller than me. You're still a jerk. Who goes there? How did you find us? I walked. What do you mean I stand out like a sore thumb? The purebloods over at Nictor Spoils hadn't given away our location, you'd never have found us. Those stuck-up arseholes thought they could come waltzing in here demanding ceruleum with nothing to offer in return. Ha! Looks like the boot's on the other foot now. The capital's gone to shite. So they resorted to sending you to negotiate. I know your game, sellsword. If they think we'll give in to intimidation, they've got another think coming. Oh, well. Sucks for you. Yeah, I'm good for that. That's not the button now. Huh. Am I dead yet? Nope. Your other friend seems to be, though. There you are! Just after you left, Licinia asked me to go and catch up with you in case you needed a hand. Someone must have let slip that I have a little experience in transporting barrels of ceruleum. So, this is Tapper's Den. Well then, after you. And my ninja finery. Hell yeah. Good evening, bruv. Who are you? What happened to the guards? We had a disagreement. Eorzeans and rebels, here to save the people of Garlemald? That doesn't make any goddamn sense at all. Why in the hells would you pass up this chance to put those Imperial bastards to the sword? Let me guess. None of you are Garlean? You were brought here from other lands? Gerbania, Yangxia, Bosia, Dalmasca, to name but a few. Some dragged here against our will. Others fed bollocks about a better life. All put to work extracting ceruleum. All given the esteemed title of An, placing us firmly on the bottom rung of the ladder. But the old hierarchy means nothing in the new Garlemald, says we. But the only thing that's escaped more or less unscathed is ceruleum engines. Still sustaining us, even with our paymasters out of the picture. Gee, it's almost as if you don't need managers, or CEOs, or boards of, boards of executives. It's almost as if people are the life's blood of any industry or society. We hear you're experts in drawing up ceruleum from the bottom of the lake, but how can you do that if it's frozen over? Ha! Wouldn't you like to know? Trade secrets, I'm afraid. At any rate, it's not as if ceruleum is used for much these days, what with the city in ruins. We take enough to power our heaters and save the surplus for later. And though it helps save off the cold, it does sod all about our hunger unless we can trade it away. Speaking of which, be sure to tell your contingent we've got ceruleum by the barrelful. If they're interested, we'll exchange it for whatever provisions they're willing to spare. We can certainly ask, but if you're all free to go now, why carry on living here? Free to go? Go where? Even if we managed to get back to our homelands, there'd be nothing left for us, thanks to the Empire. And the knowledge and skills we acquired working here would be practically useless outside of Garlemald. So we're staying for the time being. As long as there's a need for Ceruleum, we'll find a way to get by, even if Garlemald as we knew it is gone for good. Gone for good. If you're wondering why we'd post guards outside, it's because we've had trouble with other refugees, and I don't mean the ones that Victor spoils. Some of them come bearing weapons and won't take no for an answer. As for the 2 guards you met on the way in, I'll tell them what we've discussed once they've recovered from the beating you gave them. Come to think of it, maybe we should ask your contingent to send some bandages and healing balm. Regardless of what the Ilsabar contingent does for the people of Garlemald, the Empire itself is already a thing of the past. For many, that would be a cause for celebration, while for others, their whole way of life will have been turned upside down. After all the atrocities committed in the Empire's name, perhaps it is for the best that it is consigned to history. But what of the ordinary people, their lives, their stories? Should they be forgotten too? I suppose there'll be plenty of time to ponder that later. For now, let's see about getting some Ceruleum.